12 days he's held his urine.
What is going through your mind?
I really have to pee, Richard.
Hey everybody, welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them? A title fight is brewing. That's right, this season, Eddie Murphy versus Jim Carrey. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is brain rapist Joe Vekeman.
That is not how I want to be referred to.
Well, then don't look at your tombstone after you die, okay?
Who's putting that on my tombstone?
You're next of kin, obviously, Joe. Bring it up with the kids.
Jesus. All right, I'll have to have a conversation with
them. And on the audio boards is Lev Van Rensselaer reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. And our sponsor this week is the hot new film about sexy accountants, The Safe and the Serious, now on DVD. And stay tuned for Too Safe, Too Serious, coming out this next winter. Learn about all the sexy lives of sexy accountants doing sexy things. All right, Joe. What movie are we doing this week that isn't quite as sexy as the Safe and the Serious franchise?
We watched 2013's The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. Not so incredible, I will say.
What happens in this film?
Well, a veteran Vegas magician tries to revive his career after his longtime partner quits. He gets fired from his casino act, and an edgy new street magician steals his thunder.
Yes, it's a film that...
Oh, you couldn't even say it without yawning.
Yes, it is a film that asks the tough questions, such as, what if we made a movie with no likable characters?
What if we made a movie with all the boring parts?
What if we made Happy Gilmore 2, but bad?
What if we sucked all of the charisma out of three crazy, charismatic actors? This is so boring. There's nothing funny about it.
What if we headlined Evan and Bruce in an almighty battle-off, and they barely did anything together?
We don't like it. So let's take a shit. This was bad. This is what I was afraid of.
No capping, as the kids say. No baseball caps.
They don't say that anymore now that you've said it.
No baseball caps. This might be one of the worst movies we've watched for this podcast in a long time.
Okay, thank you. I agree fully.
It is all those crappy little Jim movies he did at the beginning of his career. I'll take those over this.
In fact, I think I have them right next to each other where my ranking lands. But yes, this was what did I say about this movie? I said rancid, and as entertainment, it's insulting.
It's only like 100 minutes, but if you told me this movie was like 2 hours and 5 minutes, I'd have believed you.
It's like 90 minutes with credits.
With the very long credits.
It's I just felt bad the whole time. It didn't want to end. I had to pause it because, I just was miserable watching it. And I was like, it's just never going to end, especially if I keep pausing it.
Yeah. Did you know about this movie prior?
Oh, Patrick, I have seen this movie and I have blocked it out of my memory so much that I was like, I know it's bad, but I'm like, I forgot it was this bad.
Why did you see this movie?
Honestly, can't remember why. I think it was just on a movie channel, and I started watching it when it was maybe 10 minutes in.
I didn't remember this movie at the beginning of the season, but after it started, I had vague recollections. I'm like, oh yeah, Jim and Steve were in a magician movie, I think. And then I thought why? John Heder was the third person, and I have no idea why.
Oh, okay, John Heder. Mr. Napoleon Dynamite himself.
John Heder and Steve Buscemi, obviously not the same person, so I'm not sure how I got confused there.
30 years separating them, probably.
Yeah, it did at times, especially with the Steve Buscemi of it all, it did at times feel like Adam Sandler-esque, and I was like, was this the seed of an Adam Sandler project that went horribly awry, and then nobody at Happy Madison wanted to touch it anymore?
Well, I mean, the first thing we should have noticed how this was not going to go well is that Jay Moore is one of the magicians as well.
Yes, well, Jay Moore needs some work these days. Gary on Mary's long been off the air. Did we see him in an Eddie film? Was he in like Pluto Nash or something?
God, he definitely was in Pluto Nash.
Okay. Also hanging out at like a bar somewhere, giving us 1 or 2 liners every now and then.
Yeah, he's in a Christmas movie. I should put it on. Oh, he stars in the Christmas movie. Wow.
We also had poorly utilized Brad Garrett showing up for one scene. You paid him to come in for one scene.
Yeah.
Felt like maybe that character may have come in more and those scenes got cut or something. You got Britta, and you also did one sequence, really.
That was pretty demeaning.
An extremely overacting Perry Gilpin. It felt like she had to overact because Steve Carell was underacting. He was not in like a
He's
good.
a void. This is what his whole career became like. I'm just gonna be a void that everything gets sucked into. He's not very funny in this, and when I say he's not very funny, he's not funny one bit.
He's not funny.
What happened to him?
I don't know. The thing is that he's like a bored magician, but we never see them get bored. We have like 3 time skips at the beginning, and maybe we shouldn't have rushed some of those time skips.
We need to talk about it.
Kevin?
No, it's just part of our podcast. When 2 actors are in 3 movies together, they come together in a before trilogy.
3 movies. What's the third?
Oh, you forgot Bruce Almighty?
No.
You forgot Horton Hears a Who?
I forgot Horton Hears a Who.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Because then, I don't see them.
Well, I heard them.
Right, they're before trilogy. And yet, they've probably only seen each other on set.
A couple times.
A couple times in in the course of their career.
In like 10 years.
I thought it was, I'll complain more about Steve Carell on the script a little bit, but I thought it was interesting Jim, this late in his career, took a secondary role.
Yes, this is the first time since Can You Name the Movie where he hasn't been top billed. We have covered it, obviously.
Yeah.
It's from 1998?
Simon Birch?
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. The year's all you needed.
That
That's
was it. Yeah, I
incredible.
just needed like a window, and I'm like, all right, I can figure this out. Instead of having to go back every year.
Simon Birch was the last time that Jim Carrey was not top billed in a movie.
And similar, it felt like he was throwing the movie a bone to like help it get made. So it was like I saw Steve Carell was a producer. Did he like go to Jim? He's like, yo, Jim, we're in the Almighty franchise. We got to help each other out here.
Let me see here. There's a lot of rewrites. Jason Reitman did an uncredited rewrite of the script.
I would want to be uncredited too.
So Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly are the 2 credited screenwriters on the film. They said they wrote 15 different drafts of the screenplay over a 3.5-year period. I'm going to tell you guys, you should have kept letting that thing cook.
You might as well have written one draft, because that's what it felt like.
This was not finished. Guys forgot to put the jokes in there. So this is the duality of this role for Steve Gray. They were thinking of going with Sacha Baron Cohen or Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick?
He's in our tower heist. He's a cable guy.
Sacha Baron Cohen, and I go, okay, it certainly is a different character, but I see how you get there. Matthew Broderick's like 50. How is he like the up-and-coming street musician taking your stuff away?
Well, Jim Carrey is also 50.
Jim looked young though here.
Apparently he underwent a strict diet to get into the right body shape. He's already like a vegan. What else does he have to do?
Maybe he needed a higher protein concentration or something to get those hip, cool Chris Angel muscles.
Yeah, Chris Angel and David Blaine are the 2 inspirations.
David Blaine, who I think was in the movie.
Yeah, or David Copperfield, right?
Yeah, maybe it's David Copperfield.
There's so many Davids who do magic.
Steve Carell getting a lot of ass in this movie for a magician. You don't think of magicians as pulling in the chicks, but he's like a rock musician. Which lady was this? Was this the one in all the rock movies, or was this the one who left her husband for that dude on that movie?
Okay, you really need to hone in what specific. I know you're talking about Olivia Wilde, but like what? She's the nasty reporter in Richard Jewell.
I don't remember anything from Richard Jewell.
Oh, come on, Richard Jewell. She directed "Don't Worry, Darling," that catastrophe with Harry Styles and Chris Pine and Florence Pugh.
Yeah. Then she has the onset affair, right?
Yes.
And she leaves her husband.
Yeah.
Inappropriate behavior.
She's also in Babylon for like 30 seconds.
It's not nice of her to be like, yo, Steven, we need to keep our relationship professional here. Then she goes on her own set, makes that relationship unprofessional.
What, do you think she was talking with Steve Carell?
No, it happened in the movie. The Steve character was like, hey, let's go.
Well, I mean, she was just playing a part. I don't know if you know there's a difference between being in real life or the script that they're given. I don't know. I'll tell you that.
So this is, who was it? Which one? Is it Olivia? Olivia Wilde?
Olivia Wilde, yeah. What's your relationship to Olivia Wilde at this time in 2013?
At this time in the year 2013?
Have you been watching her on House for 6 years or not?
No. Christian Anchich was watching House, so I definitely have watched some amount of House, but I certainly wasn't paying much attention to it.
She comes on into that show early, and then she kind of lasts for the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to any of the actors in the show.
Do you know who else was considered for the role of Jane?
Any woman? Any replaceable female actor?
This list is kind of strange.
Okay.
So it's a who's who of like...
Who's who of, huh?
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. Michelle Monaghan.
I don't even know who that is.
Michelle Monaghan's in Gone, Baby Gone, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Okay, I'm sure it was more timely back then.
She was probably about like 6 years before this. She was like the big name.
Okay.
Then we got Jessica Biel.
I'm glad I didn't do that.
Sarah Silverman. Probably your best bet here to get some laughs.
Yeah, I think if you wanted that character to have a personality, that might have been the way to go.
I kind of wish it was Sarah Silverman now.
Yeah, I think you needed that character to be something, to have some life.
But she's funny. She's like just naturally funny.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder.
We saw it didn't work out in the Sandler film. I don't need to try it again here.
And Judy Greer, a name we've pitched many times back in the day.
Judy Greer.
But I don't think this is the role for her.
No, like it wouldn't have been bad, but I think you want to go with Sarah Silverman. I think you want a little edge, right? Because you need someone to like tell him off, to tell Steve off. I think Sarah could do that.
Yeah, well, they sanded down the table too much, and there's no edge.
Yeah, they were like, what if we just had to be the smoothest ride ever, and anytime a problem comes up, it gets solved surprisingly easily. For Steve Carell to finish his arc of being bored magician to like rediscovering his passion for magic, he has to become a legitimately completely different character. It's not even the same thing. You didn't earn anything. You just suddenly said, all right, well, he's not that guy anymore. He's now a new guy. He just happens to have the same name.
I'm not that man.
The movie starts off, and you get this surprisingly long origin story of how Steve and Steve Buscemi meet and become magician friends. And you say, okay, well, this was probably necessary. And then you see them, in the future at some point, and they're performing their tricks, and then they get seen by an agent, James Gandolfini.
Yes, in his last credited role while he was alive.
This, enough said.
I think that's after.
That movie.
Posthumously.
A movie with the guy, The Vent. It's like a crime gangster movie.
You talking about The Drop?
Is that what it's called? The Drop?
With Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Drop. Yeah, that's good.
I saw that one too. Okay, yep. And then they're like, all right, woohoo, we're going to be friends forever. Yeah, we got a job. And then we're like 10 years later, and they're immediately bored. And like maybe a slight montage would have been helpful there.
Yeah.
Seeing them do, Steve starts off, he's looking exciting. And then like we see like the whole show, maybe the opening act of the show. And like we just time skip during that and see him get progressively bored as the act goes on.
We needed them living large, like a couple of scenes of them like really high on their own supply. Well,
it seemed like Steve Buscemi always kind of like kept it grounded and real. And like of the pair, he's like, let's keep it about the magic. Come on. And he's just like, no, it's about the big beds and the sexy dames and the blah. So like, I just really needed it to be Steve and Steve getting bored with everything, including his best friend. And this doesn't feel like a hard idea to come up with. In fact, it's an idea movies use all the time. So did it get lost in all the drafts? Did just like nobody want to bother with the running time of it? It just seemed sort of important to begin your movie that way. So I can at least get behind Steve Carell's weird personality choices because it's just like, all right, I don't want to be around these guys anymore. Give me Jim. When are we getting to Jim? And Jim was not in the movie, and Jim kind of felt important to the movie, so why not have more of him? He is your antagonist, after all. If you're going to give us an extremely unlikable Steve Carell, the Steve Carell we worked really hard to get rid of after season 1 of The Office, why aren't you giving me more Jim to dislike more?
Yeah.
You got to give me something, movie. And you're like, well, we got this woman here, and she's trying to be the voice of reason, but she's so fucking boring, it doesn't even matter.
Jim comes in as if he's playing the comedic relief for the movie.
Yeah.
We're in a really heavy drama. And I'm like, it's just so off-putting. Like, it's just such a different vein.
You don't want your villain to be the comic relief of your comedy movie, of your Steve Carell-led comedy film.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. I just have this to tell you. This has a similar story to The Great Simpsina from 2011, an episode of the animated series The Simpsons. Do you remember that one?
The Great Simpsina?
Well, it's 2011, so it's definitely like, season 22.
Yeah, season, all right.
I have not seen this season. I have not seen this episode.
I have seen this episode maybe 1 or 2 times in my life. Because I didn't have TV at the time this aired.
This has a lot of magicians in it, I'll tell you that.
I know I caught up on it at some point when I did get TV again a couple years later, and maybe I watched it once when I was going through all the Simpsons straight through during the COVID times, but that was it. Yes, I don't remember this at all.
Oh, yeah. So this movie comes out in 2013 in March.
And they stole the plot from The Great Simpsina.
Yes.
They stole the Simpsons plot. Usually the Simpsons likes to parody popular movies, but they said, nah, what if we just take it because we don't know what to do?
Yeah, so this actually started filming right when that episode was probably airing. So its filming started in October of 2011, but was pushed back to January 2012. With casting of the remaining lead roles occurring throughout October. Starting to shoot, but then they pushed it back. Principal photography began on January 10th, lasted approximately 47 days, and had a budget of $30 million. The film was shot on film stock instead of digital because it was decided that the difference in cost between the two was negligible. And the day shooting and color palettes of the magicians' outfits, such as black and red, were thought to be captured better on the stock. Huh. Well, that's nice that they considered that.
I find it extremely unlikely the cost differences were negligible.
Yeah, doesn't it cost more to shoot on film?
It costs so much more. How did they equalize? What were they looking at?
Well, I don't know.
All right. Yeah. All right, I guess go on until you get to a Jim fact.
So the filming concluded in March of 2012. So then it took about a year for them to put this out.
Sure, it happens.
It made $22 million in North America.
Well, that's
and
not
$4
surprising.
million worldwide, so it did not play well outside of America.
Yeah, Steve Carell, not the big draw that Jim Carrey is, I guess.
Yeah, and when you put Jim lower on the poster.
Yeah, but maybe it would have been like in 12 Years a Slave and Jim is like the whole poster. And they're like, yeah, Jim's here. Come check out Jim.
I believe it opened number 2 against Oz the Great and Powerful. Not a good sign.
Hope that movie did poorly, too.
It did. But it made money.
Yeah.
I don't know if... I think Ebert had passed on at this point, so we will not have any more Ebert reviews.
Dang, he would have hated this film.
He would definitely... He'd been like, what is Carrey doing?
I actually liked Jim Carrey in this movie, or I liked that there was an attempt to utilize a different flavor of Jim's Jimness. I think the script itself doesn't utilize the character at all.
Yeah, because he's in like 4 scenes.
He's in 4 like that's the thing. Like he's meant to. That's why I brought up the Happy Gilmore 2 thing. It seemed like the script wanted to be about this new wave of magician coming in and ruining what magic is in general. You know?
Yeah.
But he's barely in there, and then there's this big competition at the end where it looks like we're gonna have dueling magicians.
Yep.
But then
we don't.
Jim sort of takes himself out of the running.
Yeah, by putting a drill in his head.
Yeah. But then James Gandolfini has to come on stage and be like, well, it looks like we got a winner, a tough act to follow. And I go, the audience didn't like this at all. I have no reason to think that he won. I don't even think he did a trick. What am I impressed by? He seems to have defeated himself. And then...
You played yourself, Jim.
And then Steve, the two Steves, they come on stage.
Steve squared.
Yes. And they're like, all right. And the scene before, they're like, we got this really tough trick. Here's exactly how we're going to do it, but it might go poorly. And then it just goes fine. And then it's like the movie's over. There wasn't a big climactic thing. It didn't look like there was no tension. I didn't think Jim was going to win. I didn't think they were going to fail. What a waste of the last 20 minutes of your movie. Maybe if they'd been like, how do we make the whole audience disappear? And then we cut forward to the trick. They do the trick and we're like, wow, how did they do that? And then we get to go back and do the reveal, which is basically what they did with the last 3 minutes of the film anyway. Even though we already knew it.
Or they disappeared the whole audience.
Then maybe it works a little better. But they sort of showed us how the trick worked before showing us the trick. So we lost the wonder and amazement of anything being possible. You defied your own lesson. You crapped on your own moral that you had Alan Arkin, who we just crapped on a lot last week about winning an Oscar. You crapped on him and the message he was trying to teach us. Okay. Bad movie. Impressively bad film.
And very impressively bad.
It just was bad on so many levels. And the problems that aren't even hard to fix. You got 15 drafts and this was the script you ended up with? What the hell were those meetings about?
What did we talk about Alan Arkin last week for?
The Eddie Oscar.
Oh, wow. We are harping on that a lot.
I don't remember how
it's kind of bullshit. Oh, yeah. Brian Robbins. He's the reason why Eddie doesn't have an Oscar.
Well, that's the easy train. Stupid Norbit.
I still think Norbit should have clinched the Oscar that year for him.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
He is a man of many faces and roles.
You know, this was another film where Steve Buscemi breaks a lot of bones.
Grown Ups 2? Or Grown Ups 1, I guess.
Grown Ups 1.
That's when he gets
dummy.
the accident. Easy.
Oh, another film with a Trump mention.
Yeah, there's too much Trump mentioning. It's like this ominous right now. It's like 2013. Like, what is going on?
We've had 3 of the last 4 films have had Trump mentions in it. He was ramping up.
Trump Tower. That's what that was supposed to be called, right? Or Trump Heist.
Yeah, something like that. But it certainly was all filmed in Trump Tower.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, again, more of the script just generically hitting plot points that it didn't earn. He says, "Hey, listen, Olivia Wilde. We want you to be our starting act because you're a hell of a magician." Steve, you watched her perform half a trick and you weren't even really paying attention then. What the hell are you basing that on? You know what he's basing it on? The fucking growing erection in your pants right now.
Yeah, he slept with her and he's like, oh, I owe her something.
No. He says it and then she sleeps with her. So it's the weird like A Star Is Born relationship where like, well, now I have to fall in love with you, Steve.
Now I have to.
Now I have to. Now you're giving me my career. I guess I got to fall in love with you. Good thing this is before Me Too.
You didn't think there was a spark right there between Steve and Olivia?
Yeah, she hates him the whole movie, and then there's like one scene where they seem the generic like walking and talking with the lilting music behind it. Like, oh, they must be falling in love. Oh, there's a water fountain, of course. That's in all of those scenes.
Wow.
They're like, all right, now when they sleep together later on, it makes total sense. And I go, no, it still doesn't. And also, he must be 20 years older than she is.
Let's take a look. He was born in 1962. When do you think Olivia Wilde was born?
No. 75. Older or younger?
She's a lot younger.
Oh, okay. 82.
84.
I was pretty close, though. 18. She was born when Steve Carell learned to vote. When Steve Carell was allowed to vote, then Olivia Wilde popped out of her mother.
That's terrifying. Is her career on hold because of how badly Don't Worry Darling was?
We can only hope.
Did you not like Booksmart?
Booksmart is fine, but I do like the onset dramatics. I'm not a fan of. Not appropriate.
Oh, she is making a movie.
Right? We wouldn't like it if a man did it. I don't like it if she does it.
Her new movie stars your favorite people: Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, Edward Norton, and Penelope Cruz, who I don't know if you don't like, but I like her.
That's an odd collection of people.
I agree. It's a comedy, apparently.
Huh. Well, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not falling for that again.
A married couple experiencing a rough patch in their relationship find themselves invited by their neighbors to engage in their weekly orgies. Interesting. So who's the couple?
I think it's Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen.
Okay. Or is it Seth Rogen and Penelope Cruz? Or is it Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton? Or is it Seth Rogen and Edward Norton? We are in 2025.
No, I think it's Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll just have to see. I guess it's been filming since earlier this year.
I thought it was odd. They talk about the ethical ramifications. We spend sort of a fair amount of a scene talking about the ethical ramifications of drugging a whole audience, and then just the movie, after bringing that point up, they say, who fuck it, let's do it anyway. And then, like, everything goes fine. There was no aftermath. There's no fallout. What about when an audience member, like, looks at their phone and sees that 2 hours have gone by? Aren't they going to start investigating? Aren't there going to be lawsuits involved here? Isn't anyone going to question how they made it happen? Just lazy. Just a lazy, bad, terrible script. I'm glad the movie did poorly. It deserves it.
It did do very badly.
Yeah, anything on, like, why Jim did this? How Jim got sucked into this?
No, he just was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Just like helping out Steve, his buddy. He's like, all right, Steve, I got you.
I mean, they kind of are buddies. They've worked together quite a few times now.
They must have.
In the span of like a decade.
Jim does go on The Office around this time too.
But I think he's like stepping in after Steve Carell steps out.
Yeah, there's like Steve Carell's off the episode, and now they're trying to find the new boss, and they interview like 7 candidates. And he's like in it for 3 seconds. And it was a funny bit, but the problem was Hulu ruined it. Because like that was their thumbnail for the poster for the episode.
Apparently Mike Schur also provided a rewrite of the script. I think they need to stop rewriting the script and just get a new script.
Yeah, it seems like you had to kind of burn the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't want any of these guys to get the job. I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, both of you. Basically, your second act really needed to begin like 40 minutes earlier, where Steve Carell rediscovers his love of magic and has been kicked out on this as ass and now has to go like regain everything he lost. That happens way too late in the film for me to care about him anymore, because he's just so unlikable for the majority of the I think that's why we spend so much time in that flashback sequence when he's a kid, so that we have that to look back on and be like, well, at one point he wasn't an asshole. We need to always remember that, because he's going to be an asshole for the next 45 minutes.
Is this his only feature that he directed?
Who directed?
He's directed a lot of TV. He directed episodes, a lot of episodes of 30 Rock.
Who are we talking about? Don
Scardino, the director.
Okay. The directing seems serviceable enough. I really blame the script for just about everything here. They had a funny visual gag where Jim like is in a standoff with Steve at the bar, and then when Jim leaves, he like it looks like he's turning around and like floating away, like they put him on a Segway or something. And I thought that was a funny little visual joke there. Directing's fine. The script is a huge mess.
I mean, it's funny because these writers would go on to make like good movies.
Yeah, it sounds like if they had this many drafts, like they just couldn't decide on the story. They couldn't figure out where they wanted to land on, what they wanted to focus on, where the real issues were. I think your issues were your pacing's a big mess and your characters aren't likable. And your climax isn't climactic. It just is like over. And your female character, your one female character, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you didn't have her, it would have been okay.
Do you think this had potential to be good?
I think I mean, it's a type of story we've seen a lot. As I said, we saw a good version of it in Happy Gilmore 2. It can exist, but they didn't do it.
Well, they failed. Movie sucks. It's not fun. That's the sucky part about it. It doesn't have to be funny, but it's also not fun either. It's a chore to watch.
It was nothing. It was just a giant wet turd. It wasn't even a solid lump of turd. It just was like
a soft
serve turd.
Oh, jeez.
No form, no shape, just like slowly oozing out wider and wider as the movie goes on. Good Lord,
that is a visual that we did not need.
All right, well, would you like a little Drew Carey palate cleanser?
I would absolutely. I need it.
Moon over Parma, bring my love to me tonight. Guide her to Eastlake.
All right, let's talk about this Drew Carey musical licensing woes to finish off season 8, the penultimate series. The last couple episodes.
Give it to me.
The whole crux of the season 8 has been Drew's had at the beginning of the season, he set a date, put a deposit on wedding venues and bands, and bought a ring, and now he just had to find the bride throughout the whole season. Well, he ends up finding this young southern dame, brings her up there. It looks like they're going to get married. He proposes to her. They're at the movie theater, and then a little preview comes on of Drew Carey, and he's like singing a song to his bride-to-be to propose to her to the tune of Wedding Bell Blues, substituting the name Bill for Lil Lee. Worked out pretty well. Then the audience, they like sing along, and they put their hands in the air and wave them around as if they just didn't care.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad they don't care.
Well, they have to cut out the song, obviously. Which would have been fine because they edited it well enough where we see them watching the screen to when he gets down on the knee to do the actual proposing. The real awkward editing is later on when they're fighting about it because she says no. He's like, I just made a bunch of Vin Diesel fans sing a really effeminate song. But if you didn't know that song was cut, you're like, what the hell are you talking about, Drew? I didn't see that at all in there. So when they cut that, I was wondering if they would have cut that joke. And they did not. They actually just left it in.
Interesting.
And then lastly, at the end, obviously, the wedding doesn't go very well, and his bride leaves him for reasons I won't get into, but spoilers.
Oh.
But then, Drew sort of sits there at the end in the empty wedding hall with the band playing the music. The problem is it's a live band, and he can't... Whatever music he had them playing was apparently copyrightable. It sounded somewhat generic to me half the time. Half the time it was like, well, yeah, you got to cut that. But because the band is playing it live... You can't really just put another song over it because we're seeing the guy singing the song.
Yes.
So that was the awkwardest cutting I've seen in a long time because they have to like keep sticking on a bunch of close-ups that they grab from intermittently throughout the scene and just like smushing them together so we won't notice the band not singing along with the song. Really, really tough. Tough way to go out. But now we're getting to season 9, and I took a little preview ahead. They did not have the episodes in the right order. Season 9 famously, even despite being a summer burn-off by that point, this show that was once one of the most popular on TV, ending as a summer burn-off for its final season, even then, the network still felt the need to tinker with the episode run. And the first episode they aired was actually episode 16 of the season.
How thoughtful.
Especially since the season 8 ends with a cliffhanger, and then the season 9 has kind of like a really big plot through line where Drew and the new female lead, they get pregnant, and now he's like trying to woo her to be his wife. And all of that, we start right in the middle of all that drama happening, right in episode 16. So now I have to go back and look at my media junkie Josh, who, when he made his HD remakes, was kind enough to also put them in production order and not airing order.
Oh, nice.
As the person who watched that summer burn-off live, it was extremely confusing. I was like, what? Did I forget something? Did I miss previous episodes? A lot of important stuff seemed to be we needed to wait for, and I had to wait like over a year to get these episodes because of the weird
It's terrible.
airing.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like, you went back and you put all the time and effort into cleaning out all the music. You didn't just put those episodes in the right order. That's not hard to do.
It seems pretty easy.
You have the production numbers. You know what to do. Anyway, so I'll be untangling that for our future musical licensing watches.
Okay.
And should be a lot of fun. But I can't imagine there's much money left in this final season to spend on music. So hopefully you won't be hearing from me too much more.
Oh, damn.
That's all right. All right, Joe, you got last looks on Burton Wonderstonington?
Burt Wonderstone.
And Steve Marvelton.
I'm so glad this didn't do well.
Yeah.
Because I would not want to see a follow-up to this. I can't imagine them like, oh wow, we're gonna make the Magician sequel. What? No.
Yeah, it gets like a new enemy magician.
Yeah. I'm good. They were out of steam 5 minutes into the movie, so
the movie just never knew what it wanted to be, it seemed. Maybe it wanted to do too much, and yet simultaneously didn't want to do enough? I don't know.
Like we said, there was no edge to it.
With a movie with no likable characters, somehow you found a way to get no edge. You found a way to make it as sanitized as possible.
Is it a little grimier if it's like R-rated?
Maybe. I really think your crux is in your characters and in your plot structure. I think it's just a big mess.
I agree.
It's a big lump of nothing.
You got last looks.
Yeah, why does Jim Carrey do this movie? I mean, yeah, I guess if you're not going to be top billed, it's nice you only really needed to be there for like 3-4 days.
This is his big, I'm going to just show up when they need me year.
And there's so little interacting with the other actors. He just must have been able to fit it in between anything else he might have been doing at that time. Like, he literally could have done it at any point. Because even a lot of those street scenes, we don't really see him with Steve or Olivia. It really is just like that big showdown that happens maybe 20 minutes too soon. It seemed like that birthday party showdown. We want it to be the climax showdown.
I feel like the hot box thing, it just didn't work as a joke either.
Yeah, I don't even know why we needed to go. I mean, I guess the real thing you need it for is to see the Steves get in a big fight and not be friends anymore.
Yeah, they had a spiral.
I guess that's the real thing. It just felt like we spent a lot of time to do that, and there must have been a better or more interesting or maybe more germane way to do it. Steve Carell's afraid of heights. That feels reasonable. That feels like he's afraid of claustrophobia. I get that. That seems okay. Give him like something that was very avoidable. Because they try to sell it of like, oh, you didn't come to rehearsals, you didn't do any of the walkthroughs. But he might have been terrified of doing that anyway. So like that might not have solved the issue. It needed to be something more Steve driven, I think.
Yeah.
Steve Carell driven, to be specific.
Steve Carell.
Not Steve Buscemi, Steve Carell.
He's on a bad run of movies we've watched.
Steve Carell?
Anytime that he hooks up with Jim, we're like, this is a stinker.
Somebody was okay.
I did not like that movie.
I wonder what rating I gave it. Was okay 2 stars or was okay 1.5 stars?
Uno stars.
Uno stars for you. Yeah, Horton Hears What I Didn't Like, but again, you're taking a 20-page book, turning it into a feature. That was going to be tough to do.
Don't do that. Make it a little special.
Yeah, which you, by the way, already did in the 60s or 70s or whenever.
That's right. You did watch it.
It already had been achieved, and nobody remembers that, so probably don't try it again.
Yeah, this was hard to find. It's not the Lorax.
Yeah, Steve and Jim just have like odd
chemistry.
Their comedy stylings don't really like mesh up well together, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know if I want to see them in the movies again. But it sounded like they are in a movie again, at least one more time.
Ooh, no, that's it.
What about Anchorman 2?
Well, I forgot about his 5-second role where he shouts that he's part of
some news team.
Yeah, someone's.
Yeah.
I think he's got his own team. I don't know.
Yeah, again, just like Steve and Jim, they just must have some kind of like little like friendship thing, or at least a respect for each other.
It's the same year. Anchorman is the same year. Anchorman 2.
Oh, then now he's like, all right, 2 stinkers with you. I gotta go. No more of this. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Jim wanted to try a different type of flavor of his role, which again I thought was something worth exploring.
He does that with his next movie, and we'll talk about it but then he fucking backtracks it, and then he gets in big trouble, and the cast is like, what the fuck's wrong with you? So we'll talk about that.
All right, well, it sounds like we got some drama on the horizon, which is good, because we had a film, because Burt Wonderstone had no drama, so I'll be happy for some drama. That would be fine with me.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to rewatching that movie as well, but we'll see how it holds up.
Well, all right then. Well, stay tuned for that next week. I'd like to thank Lev Van Rensselaer for minding those audio boards and keeping us sound so slippery smooth. I'd like to thank my co-host Joe Vekeman for stopping by.
Thank you.
And I am your host, Patrick Scale. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
The kids still care about Thanksgiving at all?
Yeah, they're excited for it.
Do they just enjoy not going to school, or do they?
Yeah,
like
well, I
food?
tell them if you want to eat, you have to go catch the bird in the yard, and then once they decapitate it, they bring it to me, and I say good job, and then we drain it of its blood and stick it in the oven, and then we, pick off a piece when it's done.
Yeah, a lot less turkeys over here, roaming the streets.
You got your wolves.
Yeah, coyotes. I don't see as many wolves.
Oh.
Yeah, at night I hear coyotes and I hear street racers. That's what I hear at night.
The ghost of Paul Walker.
Yes, I suppose so. He just loves going fast. Not as furious these days. He's got more perspective now.
Yes, in the afterlife.
Yeah, he's just like, that was all stupid crap. Sorry, guys. Everybody chill out.
I think he did chill out. I think he figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go on this one.
We're just going to dive in. That's fine. I got to rush today, too, so.
I know you do, and I do, too.
I'll just drink this water and we'll go.
Hell yeah.